This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk 106.7 FM and iTalk1067.com. Also brought to you in part by Northland Pioneer College, Ace Hardware of the White Mountains, Beamer's Glass, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center, Horn Auto Center, Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports, and Comfort Fit Dentures. And now, Sholo Ford presents high school basketball on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
Welcome everybody to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com as we are live from the Den at Snowflake High School, the gymnasium, as we have ourselves a girls 3A quarterfinal game as the Monument Valley Mustangs travel down from up north to face the home team, the Snowflake Lobos, tonight. And I'm Aaron Hewish. I'm joined by Mark Saxton. We have Daniel, Jeff, Robin on the camera, Mel, our producer. But I'm going to default to Mark a little bit as Mark. These teams just played not too long ago, 8 or 9 days ago. And they come again, and it was a pretty close game. I think we had 52-46.
Yep, that was the final. And, I mean, coming into this match this evening, both teams are really hard to separate. I mean, I was going over the stats pregame. I mean, the threes are phenomenal, rebounds phenomenal, field goal percentage is almost identical. One's got 36, one's got 38% from three-point land. I mean, it's on paper, they're identical.
I get you, and we're settling in for a good game. And first, we're gonna go to Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center pregame. Our injury report. Summit Medical Regional Center has everything your athlete needs to get back in the game. Summit Healthcare. And Mark, as far as we know from talking and going through our pregame show, we don't see any injuries. In fact, these two teams look like they brought up players for this game, and so they're going to be playing with a healthy bunch, and we're going to be set back rearing to go. So that is your Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center injury report. Summit Regional Medical Center has everything your athlete needs to get back in the game. Next, we're going to move to our Ace Hardware pregame, our keys to the game. Ace Hardware is a 24/7 locksmith. The next time you're locked out of your car or just made a key any hour of the day or night, any night of the week, call Ace Hardware, Pine Top, Overguard, and Sholo. And Mark, you mentioned free throw percentage.
That was the 3-point percentage.
Three-point percentage. And I said before the game, and we kind of talked about this, whoever makes their threes is going to win tonight. Whoever, if Monument hits 6 and Snowflake hits 5, I got to tilt the scale to Monument. If Snowflake hits 5 and Monument hits 3, I've got to tilt the scale to Snowflake. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, and it sounds like for both teams, a lot of their points come from beyond the arc as both teams clear the national average by over 100 made this season. So, I mean, both sets of ladies love shooting from beyond the arc. So I think you're right. I think anything advantage-wise is going to be beyond the arc, and who's on is who's going to win.
And you know, one of the feature players we want to talk about is Kennedy Stewart for the Snowflake Lobos, as she has come on lately and been that three-point threat. Monument Valley, you have Kieran Mann and Megan Sandoval can both hit that three-point shot. As folks, we're going to go ahead and conclude our Ace Hardware Keys to the Game pregame show. Anytime you need a key made day or night, anytime you're locked out of your car, any night of the week, any day of the week, call Ace Hardware and Pine Top, Overguard, and Sholo. Folks, we're going to go ahead and take a break here, and we'll come back, and we'll have the starting lineups rolling, and we'll continue with some pregame stuff. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com.
When When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there, and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
Hi, I'm Dr. Arno. I might not be comfortable on the basketball court, but I promise, at Comfort Fit Dentures, you'll feel comfortable. Always.
Comfort Fit Dentures has dentures starting at $499 with payment plans, and they have 2 labs, meaning you get your dentures in days instead of weeks. Call Comfort Fit Dentures today to schedule a free exam and x-ray. 928-888-0002. 928-888-0002.
Welcome back to Show Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com as the starting lineups are now being introduced for the Monument Valley Mustang. Megan Sandoval, Cannon Dalton, Skylyn Ray, Dinah Parrish, and Kieran Mann are the starting 5 for the Mustangs. And for the Mustangs, it's kind of going to be as Kieran Mann went, because last game she did miss a lot of shots and was a little bit off. If she makes her shots and continues to clear the lane like she did, Mark, the Lobos could be in for a long night. However, she's going to have to contend with Renelle West of the Snowflake Lobos inside.
No, I completely agree. Kieran Mann, I mean, averaging 3.8 points a game. Just a huge player. Field goal percentage, Renelle West is 40%. So, I mean, you got some great talent on both sides. And like you said, it's just, once again, and my catchphrase, stars do what stars things.
And, you know, for the Lobos, we talked about Renelle West, and she has been absolutely dominant inside, and she got in foul trouble the last time these two teams played, as well as Denhalter did, and that was a huge disadvantage for the Snowflake Lobos, was having her in foul trouble. So we're going to get set, and when you get to this point in the season, especially with this Copper Open and some of the top teams have been siphoned off, Mark, you got to think that all teams are even at this point, and we're going to say any given night.
Absolutely, and you got to have that mentality. You got to start over. It's a brand new season. Nothing else matters. Nothing what you did mattered. It all matters tonight, right here, right now.
And, you know, we saw the other night, we were down covering the Holbrook girls at Payson. And as I watched that game and how close it was, one of the things that came into is I realized that season's over for Coach Perkins and his Roadrunners. And it kind of hurt a little bit. And that's what you don't. But sometime tonight, after this game, someone's going to go home, and we're not going to get a play on. Folks, it's time for our Northland Pioneer College tip-off. When it comes time to tip off your college education, tip it off at the college with the lowest tuition in the state. That's Northland Pioneer College, now offering bachelor's degrees in business and education. Northland Pioneer College's Mann and West are going to jump center tonight. Advantage is controlled by the Mustangs. That is Ray. Ray now over to Sandoval. 3-point shot by Sandoval. Ooh, and that's going to be good, and that is a Comfort Fit Dentures to start us off.
Red hot start.
And Mark, that counted even though it went off the backboard.
Yes,
she did not call that. As here come the Lobos, Hips guarded by Mann. As Hips drives, Hips puts it up. We're going to get a whistle. We're going to get a foul. And they are going to call it 2 shots as we have our officiating crew tonight is here, provided by the AIA. And at this point, these are the best officials. This is what the best the area has to offer, and these are assigned by the AIA as Hips' first free throw is good. And so I don't even question the officiating at this point because they just do a good job, and I'm always impressed. Hips' second free throw is good. Now, we talked a little bit, Mark, about 3-point. I want to go to free throws, and I want to get your take on what these teams got to do from the arc as Hips just made her first 2.
Well, I mean, Hips is the one you want at the free throw line, 61%, leading her team. And if you're the Lobos, you want to keep Sherlock out of that free throw spot because she's shooting 77%.
Sherlock is shooting 77%.
Yeah, almost automatic.
I thought she might have been a travel. And it is, and Mr.
Good call.
One of our officials tonight, as she took that extra step, we see it. Great job by our replay crew as 77% from the line. You don't see big NBA players making that sometimes.
I don't even think I had that good of a grade in school.
Nah. That's okay, as Parrish drives for the Mustangs, and it's going to be temporarily knocked away by Hips. And Hips knocks it away as Monument Valley is going to be set to inbound. Dalton is going to inbound. Actually, no, as Ray comes into inbound now. Ray with the ball, stepping over to the side. She gets the ball from our official, Jake Udall. Now she sends it over to Mann. Now, last game we saw Mann come to the top of the key a lot, and she was trying to clear traffic, and she would drive solo. She's yet to do that today as she goes for an inside pass, and that's going to go to Sandoval, who's guarded by Hancock, and it's going to be stolen. The credit of the steal is going to go to Stewart, although Hancock did knock it away. Here's Stewart now. Stewart over to Hips. We appreciate Mel getting our shot clock up and going. You can see what we got going under there. Actually, there it goes. As insides to West. West puts it up. Left-handed hook, Mark. Puts it up and in. Ronell West, 2 points, 4-3, Snowflake Lobos.
That's who they got to look for down in the paint. West has been phenomenal all season down in that area.
Now, Mark, how is a big guy, big girl, and I don't mean big, I mean big in the position, how do you avoid foul trouble in a game like this? As there's a three-point shot by Dalton, that's going to be no good. It's actually going to be airballed, and here comes Hancock and the Lobos. As what do you do in a game like this where it's going to be physical inside as a big man to not get those critical fouls, say Mann and West? What do you have to do?
Discipline and just body awareness. You got to understand that what you have to do down low without drawing attention to yourself from the people in the black and white stripes.
As Denhalter has it knocked away, Mann's going to be credited with the steal. Here comes Mann. Mann's going to drive the length of the court. She's going to be guarded by Denhalter. She spins. She puts it up. That's going to be good. Kieran Mann, 2 points.
And, before tonight, Kieran Mann had 330 points on the season. So just a monster season for Mann.
As a lot of our faithful in Monument Valley, as Hips goes in for a drive, no good, and that's going to be rebounded by Dalton. As here come the Mustangs now up 5-4. Dalton goes inside to Parrish. Parrish puts it up. 2 points, Parrish. As we're going to get a whistle as Ronell West goes down for the Lobos, and that is something you don't want to see. We're going to go ahead and take a break, folks. This is Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Want to go skiing or snowboarding? Visit our friendly Honda Outdoor Sports. We offer skis, snowboards, and helmet rentals, custom footbeds, ski and snowboard repairs, as well as retail shopping for your snow gear, goggles, beanies, snow tubing, and even ice fishing supplies. We have all you need to prepare you for the outdoors. We welcome you to Honda Outdoor Sports, located 1 mile west of the casino.
Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint now has 3 locations to serve you. Snowflake, Lakeside, and now Sholo. And with over 85 years combined experience in auto glass and over 40 years of combined experience in window tint, you can trust the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint with your vehicle. Call them today.
Just call 536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
Welcome back to Snowflake High School. Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com. As Ronell West, number 24, goes down for the Snowflake Lobos. She's helped off the court. And, Mark, we were talking, that is a huge loss.
Absolute huge loss and just a devastating injury.
And we were also talking as Stewart sends it over to Hancock. Hancock now at the top of the key, guarded by Sandoval. As Hancock now looks left, looks right, back over to Stewart. Stewart driving back to Hancock. As we were talking about, Mark, when you're coaching or playing, as Hips puts up a three-pointer, that's going to be no good. Rebound Kupfer, who replaces West. We're going to get a whistle and we're going to get a foul. as we were talking, you hate to see it, but even sometimes as an opposing coach, you want to beat the best. Yeah, you can slide by, but you want to beat the best. You want to say and you don't want that always hindering some kind of excuse.
Right, and it's also having the heart of a competitor where you want the other warriors on the other team to be at their tip top and you be at your tip top, so you can really just compete and just show love and passion for the sport.
As Parrish is going to be given the first foul, as Kupfer goes to the line. Kupfer misses her first one, however, makes her second one. 7-5 lead for the Mustangs. Dalton bringing the ball down. Dalton now at the 28-foot line at the top of the key. Dalton over to Sandoval. Sandoval with that monster three to start the game. Now Sandoval goes to her right. She scoops it up and in, and that's going to be good as Sandoval puts in another 2-point bucket for the Monument Valley Mustangs. 9-5 lead. And there's that presence of West missing on the inside right now. As here comes Hips. Hips gets a drive. She puts it up, and Parrish steps in. That's going to be Parrish's second foul. Hips is going to go to the line to shoot a couple, and that's not good news for the Monument Valley Mustangs, but Hips goes to the line as she's a 61% free throw shooter on the year. Actually, they didn't call it a shooting foul. She was down before the scoop, so that's going to be Monument Valley's team third foul. As Hips is now going to inbound. Hips sends it across to Denhalter. Denhalter working off a screen from working off screen from Kupfer. And then Denhalter's going to go south pole too far. Going to turn it over as they're going to call a carry on her. Mustangs the inbound. Dalton with the ball. Dalton forward to Ray. Ray guarded by Stewart. Now Ray goes to her left, guarded closely by Stewart. On to Mann. Mann at the top, guarded by Denhalter. Mann goes to her right. Denhalter guarded. Now Mann over to number 33. That is Trian Begay, as she's going to miss the shot, and that's going to go to the Lobos as Hips is going to come in. She's going to put up about a 6-foot jumper. That's going to be no good, and here's the Mustangs. Sandoval with the ball. Sandoval forward. Sandoval's going to send it to Ray, and we're going to have ourselves a traveling. And I know there's a certain number mark of turnovers that are acceptable, but that was a big one because that could have given potentially a 6-point lead in this ball game.
Absolutely, and if you're Snowflake, I think you got to shift gears, get it to Denhalter, your points per game leader at 12.3 points per game. I think you need to shift it and kind of move away from down low.
I don't think that's a bad idea. Absolutely, as we in the middle of that, Kupfer puts up a three. It's no good. Rebound is eventually in the hands of Sandoval. Sandoval goes in, intended for Parrish. We're going to get another turnover. And Mark, the Mustangs are gifting this to the Lobos right now without the presence of West. Kind of an opportunity. We don't know what her status is. We'll get that on our Summit Healthcare injury report. But if she can't get back in this game, they're going to have to do those things that you talked about.
Agreed. And right now, Snowflake needs to take advantage of like you said, the gifts they've been given. And then there's Denhalter.
As Denhalter puts up as a nice, easy layup, but Mark, that almost looked too easy.
Yes, it did. And in a situation with West going down, Denhalter needs to find herself with more of a responsibility and stepping up, and I think she's capable.
And with Denhalter and West, we do realize also that those are juniors for Snowflake. So the Lobos will lose Hips and Stewart and Westover, but they get back Hancock, Kupfer. So there's a lot coming back for the Lobos. As Kupfer is going to be whistled for her first foul. That's going to be her first personal, first team. Going to the line is Tyrin Begay. Her first free throw is good. 10-7 advantage. As that's going to be a turnover, it's going to be whistled out of bounds. As folks are having a little bit of trouble with our scorekeeping mechanism, the score is 10-7 in favor of the Monument Valley Mustangs as there's a throw into Kupfer. Kupfer's going to be whistled for the travel as I didn't get a good shot of that on the replay, but I'm going to trust these officials, and we have another turnover in this ball game. 2 minutes and 21 seconds left, Mark. A very long first quarter that we did not expect either.
Agreed, and it's going to be even longer with the missing presence of West for the Lobos, and it's going to be longer for Monument Valley if they can't figure out how to capitalize.
As we're going to get a whistle and we're going to get a foul. And the foul's going to go against Monument Valley, and that's going to be their 4th team. The foul is going to be whistled on Ray. Lobos to inbound. (10-7). Lobos lead. 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Whistle to Hancock. We're going to get another offensive foul as I think Denhalter is going to get called for this one. Actually, they're going to call Stewart with that one. As Dalton inbounds, quickly inbounds to Ray, given back to Dalton. Dalton comes down the left side of the court. Now she's picked up by Hips at the 28-foot line. Now to the top of the key over to the right side. Handed into Man. Man now dribbles to her left. She drives the key, spins, now sends it out to Dalton. Dalton, three-point attempt. No good. Rebound is Hips. Hips guarded by Begay, but we're going to get a whistle on Begay, and that's going to be the 15th foul as Hips is going to go to the line, and Hips 2 for 4 on the evening. 10-7 our score. Minute 39 left here in the first quarter as J.C. Ballard is going to check in for the Snowflake Lobos. Hips at the line to shoot her 2. Now, Mark, I'm going to ask you this because I seem to talk about this a lot, and I don't know why it's a big deal to me, but, you know, you and I grew up with 7 fouls. You went to 1 and 1. And then when we were really young, they changed it to after that 10th foul, you go to 2 shots. And I wasn't sure what to think about it first, but, man, it has sped up the game.
Oh, you know, and I love it. I think it gives teams more of a chance to get in a groove offensively. I think it's fun.
I have not thought of that point. That is a great point. You heard it here first. Mark Saxon on italk1067.com. As Man goes and spins after Hips was their second. Monument Valley brings it down. Man spins and throws it out. We're going to get a whistle. We're going to get a travel. And I don't know if it's the playoffs, Mark, or I see the stutter step right there.
Yes, it was.
Great call by the officials. But
great eye.
It seems that there's a little bit closer eye on these playoff games. I think the officials step up their game a little bit, but as we saw right there, that wasn't a phantom call. That was absolutely a great job by our replay team on bringing us that.
Agreed. No, I think, like you said, just like the players get ready for postseason form, so do the referees. Nice.
As Hips goes drives, she misses it off the backboard. The rebound's going to be the Mustangs. Long pass from Dalton inside.
Should have left it.
A.J. Yarn, the freshman for the Lobos, as she jumps up and hits it as it goes out of bounds, and she knows right then and there, I shouldn't have done that.
And that's just a young player trying to make a big presence, a big play, and forgetting the situation, and that's okay. They can still bounce back from it.
Never fault a player for trying to make that big play.
Absolutely.
Just like that one right there as Dalton shoots an NBA range three-pointer. It's going to go to Sherlock. Sherlock puts it up, but it is blocked. Here's Hips with the ball. Now the Lobos aren't running as much without West in there. As Hips is going to put up a three-pointer, that's going to be no good. Rebound is going to be Westover back to Hips. Hips is now going to drive the lane. She's about a 6-foot jumper away. That's going to be no good. Rebound Westover. Westover is going to get whistled with the push. That's going to be the 3rd team foul, and this ball is going to go back to the Monument Valley Mustangs.
And Hips did have Denhalter all alone in the corner, and I think those are the situations that the Lobos need to be out on the lookout for.
I think the Lobos need to get a little bit higher percentage of shots right now. Monument, I think, can go a little rogue and take those shots from beyond the arc, but if you're the Lobos, you absolutely have to
stay close.
Stay close. As 34, Tiana Sherlock hits a comfort Fit Denture's three-point shot, and that gives her team a 13-9 lead. 14 seconds left here in the first quarter. As that's what I mean, taking risks. If you're the Mustangs, that's what you got to do. As a whistle, we got to drive. We get an offensive foul on Hips. As we look, and that's... They called her with the block. I don't think she was set, as that's going to go against Hips. As now Monument Valley is going to get the ball over the line. And that's what I was talking about, Mark, is that is one of those little things that you see. I mean, it should have gone in November, but they said she actually rolled it from out of bounds to inbounds, and I don't think you can do that.
Nope, and like we were just talking about, referees get in postseason form just the same.
As Denhalter shoots a left-handed jumper from the side, it's no good. It's rebounded by J.C. Ballard, and that's not going to be good. As we're going to go ahead and take a break to show the Forge presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
We have President's Day pricing all month long here at Horn Auto Center. And great deals like this Chevy Silverado with up to $10,850 off and 2.4% APR. Or this Chevy Colorado. All 2024 Colorados have up to $5,100 off and 1.9% APR on approved credit. So come on down to Horn Auto Center, the Chevy GMC Cadillac store that saves you more.
Northland Pioneer College is cheering for you on and off the field. Secure a win by enrolling in college courses at NPC. Earn college credits in high school, learn a new skill or trade. Complete classes that will transfer to any Arizona university. NPC has 3 new bachelor's degree programs and over 100 associate degrees, certificates, and areas of study to choose from. The playing field for your future is wide open. Take a shot and score big by enrolling in classes at NPC. Northland Pioneer College. Your journey starts here.
Welcome back to Show Forge presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com as we get set to start the second quarter with our Northland Pioneer College tip-off. When it comes time to tip off your college education, tip it off for the college with the lowest tuition in the state, now offering bachelor's degrees in business and education. As Raya Denhalter gets the inbound, she puts up a nice little jump shot. That's going to bring the score 13-11 in favor of the Mustangs. And we're 7.5 left in this quarter. As the ball's intended for man, it is stolen by Denhalter. Denhalter is going down on a fast break as she's going to get tangled up and she's going to get called for a double dribble. Mark, thoughts on the first quarter?
You know, I think first and foremost, Hope West is going to be fine. That's going to be a huge loss. I think that overshadowed a lot of what happened. But I think as we've seen early in the first quarter and then once again late in the first quarter, possession. Do not have sloppy possession. Hang on to it and no simple mistakes.
And like I say, if you're Monument Valley, they just took a little bit of a risk there, and they're going to get a turnover. I think if you're Monument Valley, you have nothing to lose. If you're Snowflake, you've got to find that higher percentage of shots. I'm noticing, too, Mark, as Coach Brogan is with West out, there seems to be a little different flow from the normal substitution we've seen here on iTalk as broadcasting through the year. And I don't know if that's because it's a playoff or because we are missing the presence of West, and we're just seeing maybe who's going to step up, as there's a inbound that goes awry as the Lobos kick around, as Kennedy Stewart and Skylin Ray fight for it. Ray's going to knock it out, so the ball's going to belong to the Lobos, but there's no fresh shot clock. 20 seconds left on the shot clock as here's Stewart with the ball. Stewart now over to Hancock, top of the key, now over to Ballard. Ballard drives the lane. She puts up a floating
beautiful layup
jumper. As Mark, that looked like almost a two-handed granny layup.
She carried it. It was like a baby putting it to bed. Soft and nice.
Folks, we got a timeout by the Monument Valley Mustangs. We're going to go ahead and take it. This is Show Forge presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
Love sports? Love being part of the action? Imagine having the best seat in the house, calling the plays, and connecting with fans. As a play-by-play announcer, you'll be the voice that brings the excitement to life. You'll network with athletes and coaches, sharpen your skills, and even travel to exciting venues. It's your chance to turn your passion for sports into a thrilling career. Ready to make it happen? Text the word sports to 928-434-0101 to apply now. Don't just watch the game, be the voice of it. Your dream job is calling.
Welcome back to Show Forge presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com as a timeout taken by the Monument Valley Mustangs.
And all tied up here as it's been all defense in the first quarter and some showing of questionable possession and ball handling. Let's see if they can lock in.
Here's Mann with the ball. Mann guarded by Westover. Mann puts a shoulder down, gets into it a little bit, and that's going to be no good. Rebound was briefly had by Claire, Ray comes in and grabs of Claire. We're going to have a jump ball, which is going to, according to the rules of alternating possession, is going to belong to the Mustangs. As Ray inbounds, Ray sends it to Man. Man looking to go up. Man puts it up. That's going to be no good. Rebound Westover. As Westover strips it away, looking to bring the ball down. She was going to go to Hancock. Hancock guarded, sends it over to Stewart. Now Stewart pushing the ball down to Claire. Claire puts up a three-pointer. That's no good. Rebound is, that's Sherlock. Forward to Sandoval. Sandoval back to Dalton. Dalton three-point shot, no good. Rebound's going to be, well, the rebound was kind of had by Sherlock. Sherlock saved the ball. It goes back in. It's gathered in by Claire. Claire gets it knocked away. Now it rolls to the other side of the court. And now Monument Valley is going to get that ball out on Claire as Ray to inbound. Ray has it ripped by Stewart. And now Stewart is bringing the ball down. She crosses over the time stripe, throws it over her head to Hancock. Hancock now to Ballard. Ballard dribbling back over on the far side. Now Ballard gets a wide open look at the lane. But Man goes in and blocks it. Monster block by Man. Here come the Mustangs. Man with the ball. Man dribbles. Now she dribbles at the free throw line. Spins. Sends it inside to Dalton. Dalton reverse layup. Good for the Mustangs. That is their first points of the quarter. They lead 15-13.
And ball security, ball security, ball security.
As Westover puts up a three-point shot, that's going to be no good. And here come the Mustangs. Rebound Sandoval. Forward to Dalton. Puts it up and in. That's going to be 2 points for them. We're going to get a timeout. We're going to go ahead and take it to Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Welcome back to Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com as we had a little miscue on the scoreboard as the points were given to the wrong team. It is 17-13 in favor of the Monument Valley Mustangs. Mr. Jake Udall, our head official for tonight, has come over to the table, and they're fixing it as some fans are not happy. And my thought to them is volunteer. Come down and run the clock yourself at a game, as it's not an easy task. And the people that do it very well, as the Monument Valley faithful like that, but the score gets corrected. It's right in the book, as now the Lobos to inbound. Hips is going to inbound to Hancock. Hancock, not guarded, brings it over. Now she's going to be picked up by Sandoval. Over to Hips. Hips now to her left, back to Claire. Claire inside to Stewart. Stewart puts it up off the backboard. That's going to be no good. Rebound Man. Man, long forward pass to Dalton. Dalton, it's intercepted by Claire. Claire with the turnover. Claire looking for Hips. Hips now to bring up the ball. Hips over to Stewart. Stewart, three-point shot. No good.
Needed that one. They needed that one.
Rebound by Ray. Now to Man as Man calls it out. Anytime she's done this, what I see her do is she tries to look for her teammates and clear the key as she's going to take it, guarded by Denhalter. Now she sends it over to Dalton. Dalton now goes to the top of the key. Over to Sandoval. Sandoval drives, puts it up and in. We're going to get a whistle. We're going to get a foul. A blocking foul on Nicole Hips. That's going to be the first team foul. I believe that's going to be Hips' second. And Mark, I say it again. Snowflake has got to take higher percentage shots. The one from Stewart was good, but this throwing the three-point up is kind of scaring me a little bit if you're Lobo faithful.
Yeah, and you got to give it to the right three-point shooters if you're going to take those shots. But like you said, keep it in the area. Take the safe shots and execution. They missed a couple of layups, and that's not what you need on a night like tonight, already trailing by 4.
As Dalton set to shoot her second free throw, her first one was no good. That one's good. And Mark, we do see with our Summit Healthcare injury report, West is up and walking around and looking like she might be determined to get back in this ball game. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Thank you, Summit Healthcare, for our injury report. Here's Stewart inside to Denhalter. Denhalter guarded by Man. As Denhalter makes that look really easy, and that is her 6th point on the night.
No, and that's exactly what you need Denhalter to do down low is kind of fill that missing presence of West. Beautiful pass, but Denhalter with the steal.
Great job there as Denhalter sends it forward to Kennedy Stewart. Kennedy Stewart left side, and I like to say, Mark, left side, left hand.
That's
and
right.
She did that right there.
That's right. Got to be versatile. Skyland Ray getting up a little slow. Let's hope she's okay getting up limping there.
It's a part of the game, I get it, Mark, but I hate seeing it. And when I officiate football, one of the worst things is to see that big injury. I was doing a youth game a couple years ago and watched the kid break his leg on a cutback, and it was poking out of the skin.
Oh.
And as gross as it was, my heart went out to the poor kid. Had to have a helicopter land, and I get it's part of the game, but it's something you don't want to see. So we wish all our athletes health. I know that when teams do choose to pray before the game, that's generally one of the main topics is keep us free from injury, but it happens as Kennedy Stewart makes her free throw. 18-16, Monument Valley advantage. Here's Stewart at the line to shoot her next one. That one is no good. Rebound is Denhalter, and we're getting a whistle. We're getting a foul as the foul's going to be on Mute, and she knew she fouled, but she's like, there's nothing I can do to prevent that. 18-16 Monument Valley.
About it too.
I know she did. 18-16 Monument Valley. As here's Hancock. Hancock to Denhalter. Denhalter with the right hand. It's rebounded by Cooper. Cooper puts it back. No good rebound, Man. And we are calling that name a lot, Man. As Man sends it forward to Dalton. No, sends it forward to Mute. Mute inside now to Parrish. Parrish coming back in after getting a seat for those 2 fouls. Man now with the ball over on the far side, outside the arc. Man looking. Now she tries to send it for Sandoval. It's going to be knocked out of bounds by Hancock. As
she might have been able to let that one go.
She might have, but again, you're counting on your players to make plays.
No, and I completely agree. I just with possession being questionable with the Mustangs as they get through there. Questionable with the Mustangs, you might let them make those mistakes and capitalize on them.
Parrish drives the lane. Parrish for the Mustangs takes a reverse shot. She puts it up and in. 20-16 in favor of the Mustangs. As J.C. Ballard's going to drive now on the opposite end for the Lobos. She's going to be fouled, and J.C. Ballard's going to go to the line, down 20-16. 2 minutes and 56 seconds left here in the first half. Don't forget, folks, we have our Honda Ski and Outdoor halftime show coming up. Lots of things to talk about in our Honda Ski and Outdoor halftime show as Ballard misses her first free throw. Ballard's second one is up, and it is good. And 20-17, 3-point lead. Monument Mark is teetering on that 3-point range. Nothing to be comfortable about, but enough to be confident about.
Absolutely.
As Cooper reaches for the steal, she has it momentarily. It falls out of bounds over on the far side in front of the Monument faithful. That's going to go back to the Mustangs. That's going to cause Sandoval to inbound as Sherlock is checking back in for the Monument Valley Mustangs. Sherlock's going to check in for Tyron Begay. Monument Valley ball at the 28-foot line. There's an inbound sent into Mute. Mute now drives the left side. She's guarded by Ballard. Mute turns the free throw lane. She is blocked by Denhalter. Controlled. We're going to get a whistle. We're going to get a foul. As Mute puts it up, she's going to make the basket, and she's going to get a foul. And I think that's going to be Denhalter's foul. That's going to be the second team of the Lobos.
What a finish.
As that's going to be 22-17, and that's going to be the first foul on Denhalter's. Mute's going to go to the line with a chance for a three-point play. 22-17 Mustangs, 2 minutes and 38 seconds left. The three-point play is completed by the Monument Valley Mustangs. Lobos inbound down 5. Their biggest deficit of the game so far. As here goes Stewart. Actually, 6 might have been their deficit. Stewart out of Westover. As Westover turns, she drives with a little pep in her step and puts it up for 2 points. Haley Westover, 23-19, 2 minutes and 20 seconds left here in the first half.
And that's that high percentage area you were talking about that they need to capitalize on.
Dalton brings it over. Dalton now to Mute. Mute back to Man. Man over the far side. Man has a strip by Denhalter. It's whistled out of bounds. It's going to stay and belong to the Mustangs, and Denhalter pretty close to almost picking her pocket there.
Yeah, and Denhalter's been pretty good tonight defensively. If she can keep that momentum going into the second half, I think the Lobos are going to be looking good.
Inbound into Man. Man's at the top of the key. Man drives on Denhalter. We're going to whistle. We're going to get a foul. And they're going to call an offensive foul on Man. And Mark, we've both seen it as we've done games this year. That offensive foul and that player control has been more prevalent this year than I've ever seen it in high school ball.
I agree, and it's so crazy how that can actually take over, and if you're not careful, that can take over. You can lose a lot of momentum.
Mark, that's the exact word I was going to use, is momentum. The shift takes over, and we're into a totally different ball game as Man drive, and no good, called the foul. As Stewart puts it up, Stewart is no good. Man gets the rebound, sends it forward to Dalton. Dalton puts up a three. It is no good. Rebound Denhalter, as we're going to get a whistle and we're going to get a foul, as they're going to call the foul on Dalton. Now, Mark, the only thing is that, and it's not a concern, it's an observation, is as we see that big man game and we see more of those offensive fouls called, it tends to lend itself to that NBA shoot the three, shoot the J mentality. And I don't know if I want to see that trickle down into high school.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. The last thing you want to see is any type of situation where it forces them one way or another. I like the free play. I like the ability to be open.
Well, when you played ball, were you down low or were you out on the perimeter?
I try to stay down low.
Okay, so you understand. I was not what you call a great basketball player. I would have been cut from my high school team the first day, the first hour, the first minute. But I loved the game. And that's one thing I've always liked seeing is Denhalter misses her second one. Dalton bringing the ball down for the Mustangs. Now over to Ray. Ray sends it to Sherlock at the top of the key. Sherlock guarded by Westover. Sherlock now to Man. Man guarded by Denhalter. Man backs up way beyond the arc. Guarded by Denhalter. Man looking to drive. She spins on Denhalter. Drives the lane. She puts it up and in. That's going to be no good, as we're going to get a whistle, and the official Quinn Ashton and Jake Udall are going to confer on what we have, as we're going to get a foul on Denhalter, and that's going to be her second. That's going to be the third team. 23-19, minute 9 left. And if you're the Lobos, you got to go into halftime, and you kind of got to throw out your game plan because West is gone. And I look for Coach Brogan to make some changes. We'll talk about that at halftime coming up in our Honda Ski and Outdoor halftime. As we're going to get a whistle and we're going to get a kick on Ballard, and that's going to stay to the Mustangs. Ray to inbound.
And that was just such a human movement. It was all reaction, unfortunately.
Ray sends it into Man. We're going to get a whistle. We're going to get a foul. The foul is going against Westover. That's going to put Man at the line to shoot a couple. And we had some stats on Man earlier. What do you have as far as her free throw?
So Man from the free throw line, she's actually, let me pull this up here.
Misses her first one. As we're trying to fight the free internet or the helpful internet here at Snowflake High School, but we're doing our best. As Man's second free throw is going to be no good. She misses them both. 23-20, minute 5 left. Denhalter with the rebound. And we're going to get a whistle. We're going to get a foul.
And it's surprising because Man's shooting 73% from the free throw line.
I think that's, my goodness. So they've got Sherlock at 77, Sandoval at 75, and Man. And what did you say? But collectively as a team, they're at 30.
That was
that
for the
was three-pointer.
Yeah. So.
I got to see. That's got to be interesting what they're shooting. As Denhalter's goes now after being fouled. Denhalter's first free throw is no good, as Denhalter is 1 for 3 on the night currently. Denhalter's second one is good. 23-21, Kupfer in the game. Checking out is Denhalter with a minute 2 left here in the first half. Sherlock to inbound under her basket for the Mustangs into Man. Shot clock is still a factor. Man crosses over, now guarded by Westover. Man to left to right. Now she backs up to the far side of the arc, throws inbound to number 34, Sherlock. It's no good. Hip saves, and gets a rebound, and she sends it forward to Hancock. Hancock now pushes it up. Hancock looking. She takes it all the way, and man hustles all the way back down and blocks it up.
Denial's not just the river in Egypt. What a block.
That was a good one. I haven't heard that is a good one. That is a good one. Is knocked out of bounds. No foul called, so Hips is going to inbound. 37 seconds left. And what did you have for us on those free throws?
So as a team, collectively 65%.
That's amazing for high school ball. As now Hancock has it back to Denhalter. Denhalter to the top of the key. Over on the far side to Stewart. It's thrown through the hands of Stewart and whistled, and it rolls out of bounds. 27.3 seconds left.
And I think with that high percentage shot, like you were talking about, they need to stick with that high percentage pass.
That's what's got him back in the game, Mark.
Absolutely.
That's absolutely what's got him back in the game. As here come the Mustangs, Dalton now sends it over the time stripe, guarded by Hips. Dalton gives it to Mann. Mann brings it to the top of the key, guarded by Westover. She's at the top of the arc. Left, right, now she goes to left, now she spins back right. Out over to Sherlock. Sherlock goes up, no good. And it's going to go outside to 21, Ray. Ray over on the far side. Ray now sends it back to Sherlock, back to Mann. Mann goes to her right. 3-point shot, no good. Rebound, Kupfer, and the quarter is over. That means the half is over. We're going to take a break and come back and give you our Honda Ski and Outdoor Store show. This is Show LaForge's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
Hi, I'm Dr. Arno. I might not be comfortable on the basketball court, but I promise, at Comfort Fit Dentures, you'll feel comfortable. Always.
Comfort Fit Dentures has dentures starting at $499 with payment plans, and they have 2 labs, meaning you get your dentures in days instead of weeks. Call Comfort Fit Dentures today to schedule a free exam and x-ray. 928-888-0002. 928-888-0002.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Want to go skiing or snowboarding? Visit our friendly Honda Outdoor Sports. We offer skis, snowboards, and helmet rentals, custom footbeds, ski and snowboard repairs, as well as retail shopping for your snow gear, goggles, beanies, snow tubing, and even ice fishing supplies. We have all you need to prepare you for the outdoors. We welcome you to Honda Outdoor Sports, located 1 mile west of the casino.
This is iTalk 1067's presentation of the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store halftime show.
Welcome back to Show LaForge's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com as we get set for our Honda Ski and Outdoor halftime show. For the best selection of hiking, camping, hunting, and fishing gear, go to the Honda Ski and Outdoor Store, south of Pine Top on Highway 260, just before you get to the Honda Casino. I got to ask, Mark, first half thoughts.
You know, I love the fast play. We were just kind of talking about it. Ball security. That's going to be a big thing if Monument Valley wants to continue to stay in the driver's seat, if you will. Snowflake, like you were talking about all game long, needs to take high percentage shots, needs to stick with the high percentage passing.
We don't quite know the status of West. They're playing pretty well without her, and you got to have that next man up mentality. You have to have that next man up. But, Mark, I asked this a lot at halftime. I asked this, and so I'm going to ask you, if you're Coach Brogan of the Lobos, what are you doing at halftime from what you've seen in the first half?
Well, right now, if I'm just assuming that West isn't coming back, so right now I'm going to stick with the high percentage pass. I'm going to tell Denhalter and Stewart to stick with the ones being able to dish the ball, find them down low, and take those high percentage shots, and be able to on the defensive side take advantage of the sloppy possession that the Mustangs have shown in certain areas.
So if you're Monument Valley, I think you're doing more of the same.
Absolutely. The only thing I have to say is clean up the possession. Keep taking those shots, like you said. I actually like that. Let them be free shooters.
I do too.
Yeah, I mean, they've been phenomenal, kind of, offensively. I say stick with your game offensively, clean up the turnovers, do more of what you've been doing defensively.
You talked about the shooting there, and I think one of the best coaches in the area is Coach Greg Perkins over the Holbrook Roadrunners. And one of the things I've noticed about Coach Perkins, we saw it the other night, is he gives his players that green light. And very rarely does it hinder them, but it helps them a ton because they keep doing it, and you see those players crash the boards. And that's what we've seen out of the Lobos tonight. They've missed a lot of three-pointers. I think they've missed 6. Okay? Now, to piggyback off that, Monument Valley has the advantage on three-pointers, and we had said before the game started the battle of the three-pointers was going to determine the game. And right now, that 2-point lead, 23-21 by the Mustangs, I feel is due to that hot three-point shooting in that very first part of that first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Mustangs came out swinging. Their very first shot was a three-pointer.
Shot.
So, I mean, I agree with you. I think that will be the difference maker.
We're going to go ahead and take a break, folks, and come back and bring you our Honda Ski and Outdoor halftime show. We'll take a break and come right back and finish that for you. This is Show LaForge's presentation of high school basketball, the Honda Ski and Outdoor Show on iTalk1067.com.
Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint now has 3 locations to serve you: Snowflake, Lakeside, and now Sholo. And with over 85 years combined experience in auto glass and over 40 years of combined experience in window tint, you can trust the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint with your vehicle. Call them today.
Just call 536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
We have President's Day pricing all month long here at Horn Auto Center. And great deals like this Chevy Silverado with up to $10,850 off and 2.4% APR. Or this Chevy Colorado. All 2024 Colorados have up to $5,100 off and 1.9% APR on approved credit. So come on down to Horn Auto Center, the Chevy GMC Cadillac store that saves you more.
Northland Pioneer College is cheering for you on and off the field. Secure a win by enrolling in college courses at NPC. Earn college credits in high school, learn a new skill or trade. Complete classes that will transfer to any Arizona university. NPC has 3 new bachelor's degree programs and over 100 associate degrees, certificates, and areas of study to choose from. The playing field for your future is wide open. Take a shot and score big by enrolling in classes at NPC. Northland Pioneer College. Your journey starts here.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
Welcome back, everybody. Show LaForge's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com as we continue our Honda Ski and Outdoor Store. For the best selection of hiking, camping, hunting, and fishing gear, go to the Honda Ski and Outdoor Store, south of Pine Top on Highway 260, just before you get to the Honda Casino. And Mark, as you were going through some team stats, go ahead and tell us exactly what you were looking at and exactly what you're thinking.
So rebounds. That's going to be huge. We were just talking about missing West. Both teams, I mean, almost identical. Rebounds per game for the Lobos, 36.2. Rebounds per game for the Mustangs, 31.9. Both teams have way more defensive rebounds than they do offensive. Well, only for the Mustangs, I apologize. The offensive rebounds per game is 17.3 for the Lobos. Their defensive rebounds per game is 18.9. If the Lobos can continue to gain boards on both sides of the floor, I think that the Mustangs are going to be in for a long second half.
But, Mark, without West, how does that factor in? Because the Lobos didn't seem to miss her on the rebounding end at all. But how is that going to play in?
Yeah, I think, once again, it's going to be a tough spot. The Lobos might think about dropping into a 2-3 and playing that smothered defense in the paint.
Sounds good. Well, folks, we've got about 1:25 left on the clock. So we're going to go ahead and conclude our Honda Ski and Outdoor halftime show with the best selection of hiking, camping, hunting, and fishing gear. Go to the Honda Ski and Outdoor south of Pine Top on Highway 260 just before you get to the Honda Casino. As there is the whistle, so we got about a minute left. Okay, Mark, second half. I think we know what to expect. I think we know what we're looking for. You can't really call it because that's not professional. But right now, I see the momentum as being totally equal. Whatever team sets that momentum to start is going to win this ball game.
Yeah, whichever team it is, they got to come out swinging. They got to set the tone. They got to set the tone and get Mo on their side.
I don't disagree with that. Is, folks, buckle in for the second half. Both teams look like they're going to grace us with their starters to start this half. And, again, I see Monument coming out, and I see him slinging that three. And if it goes in, it's going to be trouble for the Lobos.
Absolutely. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? I mean, that's what we got to be. That's what we got to be thinking if we're Monument Valley.
The alternating possession favors the Snowflake Lobos as we get set for the start of the third quarter. This is our Northland Pioneer College tip-off. When it comes time to tip off your college education, tip it off to the college with the lowest tuition in the state, now offering bachelor's degrees in business and education. Northland Pioneer College as Hips inbounds and gives it over to Stewart. Now Stewart loses it. Westover attempts at it. She gets it to Hancock. Now Hancock throws it inside to Denhalter. Denhalter goes up and hits the bottom of the backboard as now Mann gets the rebound. Mann was looking long. And now Mann throws it to the inside as we get it all alone. Danae Parrish, 2 points for her. 25-21 Mustangs, 7:25 left in the third quarter. As Hancock brings the ball down for the Lobos. Hancock goes to her right. Hancock backs up behind the arc. Now she dribbles to the left. Hancock out to Stewart. Stewart now over to Westover. Westover has a wide open lane. Mann steps in on her. She's going to kiss it off the backboard. That's going to be no good. As now another throwaway by Monument Valley. Back to the Lobos. Stewart with the steal. Free throw line jumper. That's going to be no good. Rebound, Dalton. Dalton now to Ray. Back to Dalton. Dalton to her right. Gives it off to Ray. Ray at the top of the key. Now to Sandoval. Sandoval to Dalton. Now Dalton brings it to the free throw line to Mann. Mann pulls up. 18-foot jumper. Good. Kieran Mann.
Nice little teardrop right there. And that's once again letting your stars do star things.
27-21. Monument on top 6. Their biggest lead of the game. Ties their biggest lead of the game. As now the ball comes down to the other side. Flip it. And it's with Hips. Hips to Westover. Now to Stewart. Stewart over to Denhalter. Denhalter fakes a three-point shot. Drives the lane. That's going to fall for Raya Denhalter. 2 points. As I apologize, we do not have our starters in as Westover taking the place of Renelle West, as we thought West might come back, but we have not seen her yet. As now that's going to be Parrish, and it's going to go off. Parrish attempts to pass to Mann. It dribbles off Mann and goes out of bounds, and that's going to be ball to the Lobos. Hips to inbound.
And that's unfamiliar territory for Mann, not being able to maintain possession.
As Hips sends it into Stewart, Stewart's going to be trying to drive it. She's going to be fouled by Ray. And if I'm Monument Valley, I keep playing aggressive because the fouls don't seem to hurt them. Their bench seems to be deep enough that they're able to get it back and forth.
All day long, I'm bringing the fight to the Lobos if I'm Monument Valley, and I'm going to try and put them on their heels all night.
As Hips with the ball, Hips to Stewart. Stewart now looking. Hancock at the top of the key over to Hips. Hips into Westover. Westover guarded by Parrish. Westover puts it off, no good. Rebound, Denhalter. Denhalter left side, no good. Rebound as Denhalter's guarded very heavily. And Mann, not sure if we have the replay.
Ooh, that was close.
That was really close.
But I think they got the call right. And Denhalter, I'm starting to see a pattern here. Denhalter being guarded by at least 2 down in that area, and I think that's a smart move on Monument Valley's side.
Mustangs with the ball. Man at the top of the key. Now Man backs up to the 28-foot line, guarded by Westover. The lane clears. Man goes to her left, to her right. It's knocked away. Steal by the Lobos. Denhalter weaving through traffic. Denhalter now going down the court. Dishes it off to Stewart. Back to... No, not back to Hancock. Stewart keeps it and puts it up. Kennedy Stewart, jump shot, good.
And a steal again. Oh, she misses it.
She misses it. I went down to write that point down. What happened there, Mark?
Oh, she just dropped in, took the ball, and unfortunately was unable to finish.
As here's Man at the top of the key, guarded by Westover. Man over to Parrish as Lobos are tightening up the defense. Now inside, and that was...
Nice steal.
That was, okay. So Ray brought it down and saw a wide open Sandoval. Sandoval just happened to mishandle, and then we get a whistle, we get a foul, and the ball's going back to the Lobos. As the foul is on Ray, that is her third personal. First team of the quarter. Hips with the ball for the Lobos. Hips to Stewart.
Yeah, once again, those offensive fouls can be huge.
They can. As Stewart backs in right under the arc, and that's going to be no good as it hit the net, but it didn't hit any rim. As here come the Mustangs, Sandoval to drive. Sandoval now stolen by Hips, and Monument Valley is doing a lot of turnovering as Hips brings it down. Hips with a 10-foot jumper. That is good. Nicole Hips, we're getting a whistle. And we're getting a timeout with Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
This has been iTalk 1067's presentation of the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store Halftime Show.
Love sports? Love being part of the action? Imagine having the best seat in the house, calling the plays, and connecting with fans. As a play-by-play announcer, you'll be the voice that brings the excitement to life. You'll network with athletes and coaches, sharpen your skills, and even travel to exciting venues. It's your chance to turn your passion for sports into a thrilling career. Ready to make it happen? Text the word sports to 928-434-0101 to apply now. Don't just watch the game, be the voice of it. Your dream job is calling.
Welcome back to Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com as it is 27-27 all. 4 minutes and 6 seconds left here in the third quarter. Monument Valley's ball. Monument Valley to inbound. Monument Valley steal. We get a steal by Hancock. Hancock sends it to Westover. Westover just inside the arc. That's going to be no good. Rebound is going to be by Dalton. And I'd like to see the Lobos take a higher percentage of shot as Dalton loses it. Whistle, and it's out of bounds on Hips. Ball will belong to the Mustangs. 27-27 all, 3 minutes and 51 seconds left here in the quarter. We're going to get a whistle. We're going to get a 5-second violation. Tied 27 all, 3 minutes and 51 seconds left here in the third quarter. We have an update on the Chinle-Coolidge game. It looks like Chinle up 29-14 on the Bears from Coolidge. As we're going to get a whistle, we're going to get a... I thought she called a travel, but no, we're going to get a foul on Sandoval, and that's going to be the third team foul. Sandoval's second, as Bryn Kupfer checks in for Haley Westover. Hancock to inbounds as we have another substitution, as Mute is going to come back in the game. Mute's going to go for Sandoval. Coach not wanting her to get that all third foul. Ball's given way back court to Hips, as Hip now goes to her right. Now to her left at the free throw line.
Beautiful
jumper.
Jay.
That's going to be no good. And rebound is going to be Dalton, and Dalton just ripped it away from Hancock. Hancock having position now to Man. Man brings it over, guarded by Denhalter. Man goes to her right, as the Lobos have done a good job by keeping Man in check. However, she has a big 4 points, tied 27 all. Inside to Parrish. Parrish! That's going to be 2 points for the Mustang. As just as we think Man's out of it, she pulls another card and gets it into her teammates. Is a nice assist there by Man, and sometimes that's just the way it is. As Stewart now to Hips. Hips looking. Hips puts it up. That's going to lay it up and in. Hips, 2 points.
Answering right back, and that's what you need to do as the Lobos.
29-29 all with 2 minutes and 55 seconds left here as Man has the ball, guarded by Denhalter. Man now goes to her left. Out on top of the arc, now to the far side. Over to Parrish, back to Man. Man now drives. Man at the free throw line whistle. We're going to get a foul, and it's going to be on the Lobos. That's going to be the Lobos' first team foul, as I believe they're going to call that on Denhalter, which is going to be her second personal foul. It's Denhalter's third personal foul, and
Ouch.
Coach Brogan going to have to. Coach Brogan electing to keep her in the ball game, tied 29-all.
Got to tread lightly now. Got to tread lightly.
Ray inbounds the ball. Ray to Man. Man kind of wanted that three-pointer. She's now guarded by Westover. Over to Dalton. Comfort Fit Dentures three-pointer. 32-29. Monument Valley on top of Snowflake. Here comes Hips.
2:20 left now. The Lobos got to lock in.
As Hips is going to put up her own three, that's going to be no good, and Man's going to get the rebound. And, Mark, I got to say that we have not seen West. I do not think we will at this point.
I think you're right. I mean, this late in the game, and I don't see her up and walking around anymore. I think her night might be done, which is unfortunate.
It is unfortunate as Man now drives, spins on Westover. That's going to be given. It's going to be no good. Rebound is going to be Dalton. Dalton's going to get her own rebound and put it back up and in. And Dalton with a very quiet 9 points for her Mustangs, up 34-29 on the Lobos now as here comes Hips. We're going to push, and I believe that's going to go on the Lobos as it's going to go on number 40.
That's Man.
No, that's Man, and that's going to be Man's second. That's going to be a team third foul for the Mustangs, up 34-29 on the Lobos. Hips to inbound. Hips looking. And that's going to be a 5-second call, as I'm not sure I can argue with that one.
It's always a tough call. I mean, but you got to keep that internal clock going in your head, and you got to be ahead of it.
As Man now ends up back with the ball. Man's going to bring the ball down the court again. She's guarded by Westover. Westover backing off a little bit after Man brings it over at half court. Now over to Ray. Ray to her left, and Ray's going to travel. As that walk was good enough to go halfway back to Monument Valley.
Yes, it was.
As at least halfway to Holbrook. Here's Hancock to inbound. Hancock over to Hips. Hips now bringing the ball up the court. Number 10, the senior for the Snowflake Lobos. As she sends it to Ballard. Ballard back to Hips. Hips now driving at the free throw line. She drives even more distance. Denhalter puts it up and in. 2 points for the Snowflake Lobos. 34-31. The Lobos on top. Minute 6 left here in the third quarter. As that Ballard to Hips combo, we saw that.
Final 60 seconds now.
It is 60 seconds, 34-31. That Ballard to Hips combo, we've seen that a time or two. We actually saw that a few times on the soccer field this year as two soccer teammates, as Man drives the lane. Man almost has it stolen by Ballard, now out to Dalton. Dalton fakes it, steps inside the three-point lane, and we're going to get a 3-second violation. And they're going to call that on Man. And Man actually had the tent stakes in and was getting ready to put the tent poles in because she had been in there a long time.
She was camping out. Yeah, she was ready to pick out a piece of real estate.
34-31, Lobos down with the ball. Stewart pushing it up and in as Stewart now drives, and Stewart goes all the way coast to coast.
A little bit of I'll do it myself on this play. I like it.
34-33, 30 seconds left here in the first quarter. As here comes Man. Man guarded by Westover. Now Man goes to her right, now to the near side. Man dishes it back out to number 21. That is Ray.
With the defender
Ray puts
breathing
in a
down her neck.
Fit Dentures three-pointer. That gives Monument Valley a 4-point lead. 37-33 is here's Stewart. Stewart drives, and it's going to be whistled. We're getting a foul on the Mustangs. Up 37-33 with 13 seconds left. Lobos ball. Hancock to inbound as Sherlock is going to check in for the Monument Valley Mustangs.
Sherlock, another big stat leader with the free throw percentage. So I mean, these are the people you need in.
As we're going to get a whistle, and we're going to get the ball knocked out of bounds. As Ballard and Dalton both go for it, the ball's going to be knocked out on Ballard. We had a great view from our vantage point. That absolutely 100% went out on Ballard. Man to inbound right in front of our table.
Like you said, they got the best of the best officiating tonight, so good
as
to see.
They're going to throw it, and they're going to throw it out of bounds.
That's wayward. That was a wayward pass, and you know, the wayward pass, that's not what you need to be doing with a 4-point lead. You need to be more relaxed.
As they check Hips, and I'm guessing they're going to try to get a last-second shot off, probably a three-pointer, which at this point I'm okay with. 7.3 seconds left. Monument Valley up 37-33 on the Lobos. as we have a little bit of clock trouble right now as we're trying to figure out what we're doing.
There was 9 seconds left on the clock.
We're not sure what the clock is doing here. We're waiting for an inbounds as Mr. Quinn Ashton, one of our officials tonight. And these clocks, I've seen them before, folks. You don't know exactly what to do. As now we get 9 seconds on the clock, and that's going to be 37-33 in favor of the Mustangs.
It's not moving.
And the clock's not moving now. It finally does move. Here's Stewart. Stewart over to Hips. Hips is going to drive the baseline, and that's going to be kicked away. Parrish with the steal.
Beautiful
Parrish
ball
forward
movement.
to Dalton. And that's going to be no good as Parrish sends it forward to Mutant. That's not going to be good. We're going to go ahead and take a break. This is Show LaForge presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Welcome back to Show LaForge presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com as the alternating possession favors the Monument Valley Mustangs, and they're going to get set to inbound. 37-33 is our score. Monument Valley up on Snowflake. And Mark, every point, every possession is precious for both teams right now.
Absolutely, and you're getting to that point of the game where it's no time for a mistake, high time for a hero.
Very well said. Couldn't have said it better myself as Dalton now sends it into Ray as we're going to get a whistle and we're going to get a travel. And if Monument Valley cut their turnovers in half, it might be a different game. The Lobos have protected the ball. The Lobos' problem is tonight their shots aren't falling. For Monument Valley, it's the turnovers. Credit the aggressive defense by Snowflake, but both teams having major offensive areas of struggle.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's execution down low looks like there might be an offensive foul here.
I think they're going to call it a block, and that's going to go against, they're saying 2, red 2, so that is the first team foul for Monument Valley. That's going to be on Sandoval. That's going to be her third. Hips to inbound. Hips now to Denhalter. Denhalter back to Hips over her head, thrown out of bounds. And just as we talked about Snowflake and what they're, no, they call it out of bounds on the Mustangs.
Somebody got a hand on it.
But just as we were talking about that, Snowflake goes and makes an errant throw. So both teams susceptible to everything we've been talking about. As here's Hips to inbound. Hips now looking. Hips to Kupfer. Kupfer right underneath. And Mark, it doesn't get much easier than that.
Absolutely not. And those are the areas that the Lobos need to stay in, and they need to start paying rent there. Get comfortable.
Absolutely. 37-35. Lobos on top. 7 minutes and 15 seconds left. Man now drives to the left side, guarded by Denhalter. Man's going to go. We're going to get a whistle. We're going to push. And that is going to be Denhalter's 4th foul. It's going to be the first team, but that is going to be Denhalter's 4th foul. And if you're Coach Brogan, immediately he sends in Haley Westover. And that's the exact predicament that the last time these two teams played was West and Denhalter were in foul trouble. So Westover, Ballard, Kupfer, they stepped up for the Lobos that night. Man to inbound. Man now throws it over. I believe that is Dalton. Dalton guarded by Hips. Back to Man. Man at the top of the key, guarded by Westover. Man wanted a 3. Now she drives. Now on the line. They're going to call that a 2-point shot by Man as she shot that on the line. 39-35, up 4. Here comes Hips. Hips, long court pass to Kupfer. Kupfer drives. Now she dishes to Westover. We're going to get a whistle, and Westover kind of was held on the arms out as you see the pass from Kupfer to Westover. If Westover fields that cleanly, I don't know if that's the right word, she goes up with it. That's an easy 2, but instead she's fouled, and Haley Westover is going to go to the line to shoot a couple. And Haley Westover, I believe, has had a little bit of struggles on the line for the Lobos. As her first one is no good. The Lobos about 50% from the line tonight, shot way more, as Monument Valley shot 8 free throws. They are 3 of 8 on the night. Lobos.
Westover at a 48% before tonight.
But she does make her second one, so right as those stats come through, as the Lobos, I believe, are like 9 of 18. I'll check that as Sandoval drives left hand, right side, no good. Comfort with the rebound, Comfort to Hips. Here come the Lobos. Hips with the ball. Hips going down. Hips coast to coast, left side, left hand. That is no good. Rebound, Man. As we're going to get a whistle as Comfort grips it on Man, and we get a jump ball, and that's going to go to the Snowflake Lobos.
And that, just the jump ball rule, and it favors the Lobos this time around at the perfect time.
As the ball's inbound to Westover, we're getting a whistle, we're going to get a foul, and we're going to get a push on the Lobos, as I believe they're going to call that on. They're going to call that on Kupfer. I think Kupfer stuck in there to get that rebound as we watch the rebound again. As you watch Kupfer underneath there, Kupfer just backed down her opponent. So now the ball is going to go to the Mustangs. Man to inbounds as the Lobos putting on a press now. To Hancock, or to Dalton. Dalton guarded by Hancock. Now to Man. Man guarded by Westover. We're going to whistle. We're going to get a timeout. This Show LaForge presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there, and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
Hi, I'm Dr. Arno. I might not be comfortable on the basketball court, but I promise, at Comfort Fit Dentures, you'll feel comfortable, always.
Comfort Fit Dentures has dentures starting at $499 with payment plans, and they have 2 labs, meaning you get your dentures in days instead of weeks. Call Comfort Fit Dentures today to schedule a free exam and x-ray. 928-888-0002. 928-888-0002.
Welcome back to Show LaForge presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com as the Snowflake Lobos guarding on defense the Monument Valley Mustangs. The Lobos down 39-36, Mustangs ahead. And here's Dalton bringing the ball across. Dalton with the pass. We're going to get a whistle. We're getting a foul. They're going to call a block foul on Cooper as that's going to be the 3rd team foul. Dalton, it's going to be underneath as Page 33, Tuba City 32, 6 minutes left in the 4th. Chinley 39, Coolidge 20, the end of the 3rd. Looks like Chinley will probably move on. Ray to inbound. Ray inbounds to Man. Man guarded by Westover over on the near side in front of her bench. Now she dribbles, sends it to Sandoval. Sandoval guarded by Hancock. Sandoval now goes to her left, gives it back to Man. As we get a whistle, we get a 5 closely guarded. And Mark, you talked about a smart timeout. You talked about the 5 there. You have to bump up your basketball IQ in the playoffs.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, your court awareness has to be through the roof at all times, and your vision also as well. And like I said, high time for a hero, no time for a mistake at this point of the season.
As Hips now brings the ball, she sends it to Westover. Westover.
And 1.
Westover puts it in and gets, like you said, an and 1. And that's not normally what we see. And give me a second here, folks.
And once again, before tonight, 48% from the line and making her first 2 of the evening just a few moments ago. So has a chance to make an impact on this game.
Lobos 9 of 18. Here's the 3-point play. It is good for Westover. That makes them 10 of 19.
Tie it up, why don't you?
And it is 39-39. Mark Saxton, thank you for joining us tonight. He's not one of the best in the business for nothing.
Thanks
as now the ball goes to
Always
Man.
a blast.
Ball goes to Man. Man guarded by Westover. Man left, right. Now she goes inside. It's going to be stolen by Kupfer.
What a
as we're going to get a whistle. And I think we're going to get a foul, and that's going to be the 4th team foul. And that's going to go. It's only Man's 3rd. Lots of life left in there. But ball's going to belong to the Lobos. Stewart is going to inbound as we get the ball back from. As here we go back in. Stewart to inbound, Stewart to Hips. And Monument using mostly a 6-man rotation right now, so we don't see him pressing a lot. As now the ball goes into Hips, as we're going to get whistled, and it's going to be a jump ball, and we're going to get a travel. No, we're going to get a travel on Hips. As now, I see it right there. Great job by our replay crew.
Great eye.
As now hit, so that's not going to go. So the arrow still favors the Mustangs. Man with the ball, and man inbounds to Parrish. Parrish now forward to Sandoval. Sandoval to Dalton.
Just ran out of floor.
As Dalton steps on the line, as we watch it here on a replay. Dalton steps on the line. Yep, as she saved it. There to Hips.
Would have been a smart play on Dalton trying to knock it off in a
You might as well try, huh, Mark?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Stewart with the ball. Stewart now to Hips. Stewart brings it over now to Hips. Inside to Kupfer. Kupfer, jumper. That one is going to be good.
Take the lead.
And that's going to be 41-39. Lobos on top as, Mark, that ball had no chance of going in. It kissed just enough rim to go in. This Shola Forge presentation of high school basketball. We're going to have a timeout. This Shola Forge presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com.
Want to go skiing or snowboarding? Visit our friendly Honda Outdoor Sports. We offer skis, snowboards, and helmet rentals, custom footbeds, ski and snowboard repairs, as well as retail shopping for your snow gear, goggles, beanies, snow tubing, and even ice fishing supplies. We have all you need to prepare you for the outdoors. We welcome you to Honda Outdoor Sports, located 1 mile west of the casino.
Welcome back, Shola Forge presentation on high school basketball on iTalk1067.com. And Mark, during the break, you were looking at our stat sheet for the night, and you've got an interesting couple things to go over here.
Absolutely, and don't mind me, I'm just looking for the local school resource officer, as he might have to come and press some charges on some theft on the court.
Has there been some steals?
There's been some steals. Denhalter, if I counted right, 5. Hips, 5. Hancock, 3.
As Parrish puts it up and in, that's going to be good. She's fouled. That's going to be the Lobos' 4th team, and not only ties the game, it puts the Lobos on their 4th team, and it gives Bryn Kupfer her 4th personal foul. As coach is saving Denhalter, as that free throw is no good, but it's going to be rebounded as Parrish gets her own rebound, now out to Man. Man at the top of the key. Whistle, turnover, Mustangs. 41-41, 4 minutes and 40 seconds left in the ball game.
And I wonder what happened there. It appeared she just gave up on the play as it started rolling out.
I wasn't sure, and that's actually a blind spot from our table, and we weren't able to see as Stewart brings up the ball. Now Stewart drives. She puts up a floating jumper. That's going to be no good. Man with the rebound. Man's going to be hopped on right away from Westover. Westover backs out.
She wasn't looking.
Now, as
and
we
another
get
steal.
a whistle, and we get a steal by Hips. As she wasn't looking, Hips goes up and puts in an easy 2 points for the Snowflake Lobos. 43-41. As we get a whistle and we get a timeout, we're going to take it to the Shola Forge presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint now has 3 locations to serve you: Snowflake, Lakeside, and now Sholo. And with over 85 years combined experience in auto glass and over 40 years of combined experience in window tint, you can trust the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint with your vehicle. Call them today.
Just call 536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
We have President's Day pricing all month long here at Horn Auto Center. And great deals like this Chevy Silverado with up to $10,850 off and 2.4% APR. Or this Chevy Colorado. All 2024 Colorados have up to $5,100 off and 1.9% APR on approved credit. So come on down to Horn Auto Center, the Chevy GMC Cadillac store that saves you more.
Welcome back. Shola Forge presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com as the Monument Valley Mustangs set to inbound under their own basket as Mann now sends it over to Sandoval. Sandoval guarded by Hancock. Sandoval goes left, right. Now she's dribbling hard. The top of the key. Over to Parrish. Parrish looks, and Parrish is going to get called with a double dribble, and she knew it right away as we look on the replay. And you see her bring up that other hand, and ball goes back to the Lobos. Hancock to inbound to Hips. And I'm looking for Coach Brogan at some point here in this fourth quarter. He's going to have to put Raya Denhalter back in with 4 fouls. Hips with the ball now, and Mark at the timeout.
Nice. As she pulled out her best center impression.
As Denhalter is checked back in the game, as Hips hiked the ball there.
She did.
And, you know, Hips is a senior, but I would tell our new Snowflake football coach, Trevor Reddick, that he might have to look at a long snapper right there, but
there's some accuracy on it, too.
As the ball goes to Denhalter. Denhalter, 2 points. Lobos, 45-41. Lobos on top as we get a whistle and we get a timeout. We're going to go ahead and take it. This Show Forge presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
Northland Pioneer College is cheering for you on and off the field. Secure a win by enrolling in college courses at NPC. Earn college credits in high school, learn a new skill or trade. Complete classes that will transfer to any Arizona university. NPC has 3 new bachelor's degree programs and over 100 associate degrees, certificates, and areas of study to choose from. The playing field for your future is wide open. Take a shot and score big by enrolling in classes at NPC. Northland Pioneer College. Your journey starts here.
Welcome back to Show Forge presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com as we get set to give you some updates here. 3 minutes and 45 seconds left. Lobos up 45-41 on the Mustangs as we have Payson up 59-44 on Sabino. Page with 1:52 left up 41-37 on the Tuba City Warriors, and Chinley up big on the Coolidge Bears as the Monument Valley Mustangs set to inbound. As they're going to inbound here, as Mann's going to inbound. Mann gives it to Dalton. Dalton going. Dalton guarded by Hips. Now Dalton goes over to the far side. Inside now to Ray.
Now I will say this. I know Monument Valley's down, and it's coming to the end of the game, but they got to settle down out there.
As we're getting a whistle, we're getting a foul. That is the 5th team foul on the Lobos. So that will be a shooting foul for Mann. Mann and the whole Mustang team, a very good free throw shooting team. As we're going to get 2 shots, that's going to be the 3rd foul on Haley Westover. Mann, with her Mustangs down 45-41, is going to go to the line with a chance to cut this lead, and the first free throw is no good.
In and out.
As the Lobo faithful have started to make their presence known in the student section, which, if you're a Lobo fan, you got to love how obnoxious it can be. Mann's second free throw, and now we're going to get a whistle, and they whistled for a violation, but she made it, so it would have been on Snowflake. So it's 45-42 in favor of the Lobos. Stewart with the ball.
One of my favorite thing about high school sports is that student section and how rowdy they can get.
You know, I remember, Mark, as Hancock drives, Hancock puts it up. That's going to be no good. Rebound. Here come the Mustangs. I'll give you a chance on a break. We're going to whistle and foul. When they built this gym, Mark, started in 2004, 2005, so it's ready for the 2006 season. I remember Andy Wood, the head basketball coach, and the principal and athletic director having a conversation about this is going to be our bench, this is going to be their bench, that's going to be the student section, because we want the visitors to go to that basket the second half. As Hips puts it in, that's going to be good. Nickel, Hips.
That might be the dagger. That might be the dagger up by 5.
47-42. And Mark, I got to tell you a quick story about the student sections. One time, this kid came in a cow costume, and a Sholo player went up to shoot rebounds, and they were mockingly milking the Snowflake student, and he was laughing so hard he airballed about 3 feet to the right.
Oh, I love it.
It's small town basketball. We love these rivalries. We love them, and this is going to be, as there's a foul, as Dalton's going to go to the line. Cannon Dalton, she misses her first one, down 47-42. 2 minutes and 52 seconds left. Now, the Lobos, Westover has 3 fouls, Denhalter with 4, as the second free throw by Dalton is good. Denhalter to now inbound for the Lobos. Denhalter to Hips. Hips now to Hancock. Hancock pushing it down. It is 3-on-3. Hancock left to right. Now Hancock looking. As we're going to get a whistle, we're going to get a push. That's going to be the 4th team foul as I think that was smart on Sandoval, although I believe that's going to be Sandoval's fourth. And she gets put close to there. As now Hips is going to bring in the ball, 47-43. Lobos up 4, 2 minutes and 42 seconds left. And we have a foul, so we have a clock. We have a violation warning on Dalton, so on the team, as Hips is going to get the ball. Fresh shot clock because of the foul. Hips to inbound.
And once again, Monument Valley's just got to settle down, settle in. This game isn't over. This game has got some time left. They've got a chance to come back. They don't need to hit the panic button just yet.
Stewart now with the ball, as we're going to get a whistle,
Ouch.
and I think that might be Sandoval, and that could be a huge loss, as they're going to send in Ray to check in for her immediately. 2 minutes and 31 seconds left, 47-43. Lobos are on top. And I'm Aaron Hewish. I'm joined by Mark Saxton, Daniel, Jeff, Robin, our camera crew, Mel, our producer. Fabulous crew I get to work with. I am definitely just the show-up guy. These other guys put in such a great amount of time and give a lot of effort to our broadcast. Stewart's first free throw is no good for the Lobos, up 47-43. And the score has flipped a little bit this quarter, but the Lobos' biggest lead, Mark, has only been 4.
Yeah, and they have a chance. They have a chance to kind of help put this game away if they can take advantage of an unsettled Monument Valley basketball team.
Stewart makes her second one, 48-40. As we're going to get a whistle, we're going to get a foul, and that's going to go against Stewart. And no matter what kind of foul that was, it's going to be 2 shots. And Mark, how big is that shooting team foul going to come into factor here?
With Monument Valley, I mean, averaging at 65% as a team, and their top shooters over 70%, it could be huge. And if the Lobos aren't careful, they could give away the lead they have.
But if you're the Lobos, you cannot back off that aggression because they will take every bit advantage of it.
It's a double-edged sword, and it's just one of those things. It's live and die with the smash mouth defense.
Yeah, that's a great football term.
Yes, it is.
As we get we're going to have a checkout because as she was fouled, she's going to have to come in the game, which coach puts Benet Smith in. Benet, a good free throw shooter, and she's going to get a chance to go to the line and cut this lead. 48-43. Lobos on top of the Mustangs. Benet Smith's first free throw is good. And there's that lead, chipping back into that lead. Lobo lead is 4. Largest lead has been 5. Benet Smith and went in for the injured player, which means she gets to shoot her free throws. Coach Smart putting in one of her best free throw shooters as her second one is good. Lobos up 3, Hips to inbound.
Full court press as the coach
Stewart
was trying to get him down lower.
And Stewart now is going to take the ball. She's going to drive the lane, and we're going to get a whistle. We're going to get a foul. And great job by Kennedy Stewart of taking that ball and just going down. She used her speed and her feet to get above. And one thing I know about basketball, Mark, and I don't know a ton, is you don't play defense with your hands. You got to play it with your feet.
Absolutely.
And none of the Mustangs were able to get back and match that speed. Therefore, a reach foul, but a good foul. Stewart at the line to shoot 2.
And
first one is good.
Of the confusion on that Monument Valley defense, they weren't sure if they were going to be in full court press or not, and Stewart was just able to cut through them like a knife and drive it all the way downtown.
Stewart's second free throw is no good. Rebound, Westover has it. Westover. Now we're going to get a whistle. We're going to get a timeout. This is Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
Love sports? Love being part of the action? Imagine having the best seat in the house, calling the plays, and connecting with fans. As a play-by-play announcer, you'll be the voice that brings the excitement to life. You'll network with athletes and coaches, sharpen your skills, and even travel to exciting venues. It's your chance to turn your passion for sports into a thrilling career. Ready to make it happen? Text the word sports to 928-434-0101 to apply now. Don't just watch the game, be the voice of it. Your dream job is calling.
Welcome back to Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com as the Lobos are going to inbound ball. Hips is going to inbound. Hips looking now to Denhalter. Denhalter, what was that, about a 6-foot jumper? And do you call that when you're that close, Mark?
You know, I think you do, and I think that was right out of the coach's playbook.
So she didn't call that, but she still got it counted as Mute's going to inbound. Mute's going to drive the lane, and she's going to get fouled as well, as fouls throw them out the window. Every foul from here on out's a shooting foul. 51-45. That's going to be Westover. I think that might be her 5th foul. No, it is not. As Mute's going to go to the line. Mute's going to get a shoot a couple. First free throw is no good. 51-45. 2 minutes and 3 seconds left here in regulation.
And Mute only a 42% free throw shooter, so this will be interesting there.
Here's Mute. That's no good. Rebound is fought for. It's going to be whistled, and it's going to stay with the Mustangs. That's going to be out in Denhalter. Denhalter didn't like it, and we have the advantage of replay. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut.
Hey, once again, see a ref, thank a ref, tell him something nice. It's a
and if
tough
you're interested
job.
in trying out and becoming an official, go to AIonline.org. I know they need the help. I know that I was talking to one of our officials up here, texting him this afternoon, and one of the things he said is the people in our area, they will help you, they will train you, and get you to be that good official. As here's man guarded by Westover. As Westover knocks it away, not scared to get her 5th personal. Now to Dalton. Dalton driving over to the far side, guarded by Hancock. Back now to Mute. Mute looking, Mute going. As it's going to be stolen by Westover. Westover now to Hancock. Hancock back to Hips. Hips now pushes it forward to Stewart.
140 left now.
Stewart looking inside to Denhalter. Denhalter puts it up and in. No good. Rebound Westover. Westover puts it back. That's going to fall. Haley Westover.
And Haley
2
Westover
points.
coming off the bench, making herself huge tonight.
53-45, 8-point lead for the Lobos. We get a whistle and we get a timeout. We're going to go ahead and take it. This is Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com.
Welcome back to Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Shola Ford, Ace Hardware, Honda Ski and Outdoor, Northland Pioneer College, Horn Center, Summit Regional Medical Center, Comfort Fit Dentures, Mountain Mobile Autos Glass, Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. As we do have our Deemer's Glass event of the game, our Horn Auto Center drive of the game, as well as our Mountain Mobile Auto Glass player of the game, as man misses off the backboard. That's going to be no good. 53-45, Lobos on top, minute 14 left. However, Sherlock with a very quiet 3 points, but if Monument Valley pulls this out, Mark, the stat of the game for me is those 3-pointers in the first quarter to start off the game. If Snowflake can pull this out, the start of the fourth quarter where they just got aggressive, even in foul trouble, and went for it, as that is another missed free throw, and Mark, we'll have him at the end of the game when we go to our post-game show. But as Mr. Jake Udall telling Coach Brogan to get back in his box, and it was very loud down here. Second free throw is good. Sherlock with 4 points on the night. Inbound is to Denhalter. Denhalter over the top to Stewart. Stewart guarded by man. It's going to be knocked out of bounds. It's going to belong to the Snowflake Lobos as man knocks it out back to Stewart. And if I'm Monument Valley, I'm getting absolutely aggressive right now. Everything they can do to get back in this ball game.
I mean, let's face it. At this point right now, if the game were to end right now, there is no tomorrow, so it's time to play like it.
Absolutely. As Hancock gets the inbound, Hancock now goes to her left. Hancock being guarded by man. Out to Stewart. Stewart now to her left, over in front of the bench. Now to Hips. Hips is going to try to drive the lane. She's going to put about a 6-foot jumper. It's not going to be good. Cupper bounces it. It gets a board. It goes to Hips. Hips puts it back up and in. And we're going to get a whistle. We're going to get a foul on the arm by Ray as Hips is going to go to the line. And wow.
And Nicole Hips, 61% from the free throw line before tonight. And she's the best on the team. So this if you're a Lobo fan, this is who you want at this stage of the game to be taking your shots from this area.
Well, now, Mark, one thing we got to talk about is Hips is going to put her first free throw up 53-46. Hips' first free throw is good. Mark, we got to start thinking about our Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint player of the game. We got to start thinking about our drive of the game. We both have an idea on that one. We got to start thinking about our glass man. And our glass man tonight's obviously going to be one of these unsung heroes. As Hips' second free throw is good. Appreciate Mark Saxon coming over from the Brook and calling this game with me. His man's going to drive. She's going to put it in. It's not going to be good, but we're going to have a whistle. We're going to have a foul. And I think that's going to be on Taylor Hancock as we look. And I don't think Taylor agreed with that one too much as she had that look on the court. But as we see on her replay,
And she kind of looked up as to say, come on, she doesn't need any help here.
as here's Mann's first free throw. It is good. 55-47. Lobos up 8 with Mann's second free throw. Mann cuts it to 7. 47 seconds left. Hips inbounds to Kupfer. Kupfer now to Hancock. Hancock guarded by Dalton.
Now
Hancock
the Lobos
stops
need to
back.
slow it down. They need to slow it down. They got to remember they're in the lead here. There's no rush.
And Mark, that's actually a point that didn't even cross my mind. Is that's kind of like the team that runs the hurry up offense in football, and they're sitting there going pushing, but you got the lead. You need to eat clock, and the Lobos absolutely need to eat clock right now.
Absolutely. I mean, make Monument Valley, force them to make a mistake and just hold on to the rock.
Here's Kupfer's second free throw. First one's no good. Second one is no good. And the rebound is Hips as Hips screens off man as Denhalter goes. And Denhalter's going to go up and down just a little too much. And she's going to be whistled for the travel. Monument Valley ball down 7. 55-48. 33.8 seconds left as the ball goes to Mann. Mann now dribbles.
30
Mann
seconds.
has it stolen by Hips as we're going to get a whistle. We're getting a foul on Hips. That's going to put Mann at the line to shoot another 2. And Mark, she makes both of these. It's only a 5-point game with 37 seconds left. And it looks like Monument Valley is out of timeouts. Snowflake with a precious 1. So Mann's going to go to the line. And she is 3 for 4 on the night with another 2. Mann's first one is good.
And once again, that's not the lady you want up at this stage
Absolutely
of the game
not.
in this area.
Well, actually, Mark, it's any of them at this point after looking at their stats.
That's true.
And here's Mann's second free throw. It is no good. Rebound Kupfer. Kupfer in left, right, as we're going to get a whistle, and she's going to try to push it forward to Hancock, but it's going to be turned over as Mann's going to get the ball. We're getting a whistle, we're going to foul, and Mann's going to go back to the line to shoot a couple. Down 55-49. Lobos are on top of the Mustangs. Mann goes back to the line.
As aggressive as they have to be to end this game, they do have to tread lightly with putting some of these ladies, well, like you said, most of these ladies at the line.
As Kupfer's going to be whistled for her 5th foul. As J.C. Ballard now going to check in for the fouled out Brent Kupfer. And with West gone, the play of Westover and Kupfer was huge tonight.
Yes, it was.
If they can hold on to this win, Mann going to the line. Mann lines up for her free throw with the student section behind her. First free throw is good. Mann cuts the lead to 5, 21.5 seconds left here in the game. As the second free throw here by Mann. Remember, Monument Valley is out of timeouts. Snowflake is holding on to a precious 1. Mann's second free throw is good. That cuts the lead to 4. Hips with the ball. Hips has it knocked out of bounds as Mann knocks it out of bounds. No time runs off the clock. 20.9. Actually, they did. 20.9 seconds left as Hips to inbound. Hips now looking. Hips.
Get rid of it. Get rid of it. They got to get rid of it.
As Hips gives it into Ballard, just under the 5-second. Ballard forward to Stewart. Stewart looking.
Slow down.
Now Snowflake does the shot clock is off to Hancock. As we're getting a whistle, we're getting a foul. As Stewart brings it over to the middle, as we see on our replay here, sends it back over to Hancock, and then Hancock picks up the foul. And it looked like it might be a little malicious on Parrish, but I can promise you folks it wasn't. 55-51, 4-point lead. Hancock at the line, and
44% from the line.
Taylor Hancock, no points on the night. So talk about a quiet contribution as she puts in and gives her team. But I don't care if you have no points. I think the greatest rebounder in NBA history averaged like 4 a game, and that was the Worm, Dennis Rodman.
Absolutely, and she's been able to dish the ball. She has 3 steals on the night, so she's made herself very well available.
Folks, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. This is Show Fort's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Welcome back to Show Fort's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com. We'd like to thank our sponsors: Show Ford, Ace Hardware, Honda Ski and Outdoor, Northland Pioneer College, Horn Auto Center, Summit Healthcare, Comfort Fit Dentures, Deemer's Glass, and Mountain Mobile Auto Glass. Stay tuned, folks. We have our post-game show where we'll reward our Glass Man of the game, our Horn Auto Center Drive of the game, and our Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint Player of the game. As forwards to Dalton. Dalton's going to go. Dalton's going to put it up. It's going to be no good. Rebounds. Ballard, we're getting a whistle, and we're going to get a foul. 6.1 seconds left. Lobos up 6. Lobos up 6. 6.1 seconds left. Neither team has a timeout as J.C. Ballard.
She has the opportunity to put the dagger in and end the game and put this one out of reach with 6 seconds left.
Ballard's first free throw is good. J.C. Ballard.
And that just might do it.
I'm going to have to agree with you, Mark. 7 points in 6 seconds. Unless you have Steph Curry and Reggie Miller on the court is a rough go. Ballard's second free throw is good. And we're going to have to talk about the Snowflake free throw shooting. As we're going to get, Denhalter's going to get the steal.
Denhalter with a 6 steal.
As we're going to get a whistle on the final from Snowflake. The Lobos 59. The Monument Valley Mustangs 51. As we're going to go ahead and take a break, this Show Forge presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
Hi, I'm Dr. Arno. I might not be comfortable on the basketball court, but I promise, at Comfort Fit Dentures, you'll feel comfortable. Always.
Comfort Fit Dentures has dentures starting at $499 with payment plans, and they have 2 labs, meaning you get your dentures in days instead of weeks. Call Comfort Fit Dentures today to schedule a free exam and x-ray. 928-888-0002. 928-888-0002.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Welcome back to Show Forge's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com as we get set for our post-game show. And we have our Deemer's Glass Man of the game, our Horn Auto Center Drive of the game, and our Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint Player of the game. But Mark, we are joined right now by our Deemer's Glass Man of the game. Need glass for your home or business? Deemer's Glass in Lakeside is hands down the best place to call when you need quality glass at affordable prices. Deemer's Glass in Lakeside, 1-888-GLASSMAN. And joined is our Glass Man of the game, Haley Westover. Haley, congratulations on the win. Tell us about the effort tonight.
I think we gave it our all. We really wanted to make it to state. I think we really have a chance this year, and we wanted to give it all we got. And I think a big thing is we kept our emotions under control, especially when it got hard. I feel like last game it was kind of all over the place, but we really took control, and I think that's what won us the game.
Well, congratulations on the win.
I mean, honestly, giving it your all, I think, is an understatement, as you were tasked with a monumental responsibility of filling in for Rennell West, and I just, I can't get enough of how big you made yourself in that game for not only the position but your teammates around you. Can you walk me through what was going through your head? What were you telling yourself? How did you make yourself so incredible tonight?
So I really wanted to focus on my defense and shutting out the players that I was on. And kind of like I said, just giving it 100% no matter what. So mainly just keeping my energy up and keeping the bench going and doing the best I can.
You did that coming off the bench cold. I mean, that's always a tough task. I mean, congratulations on a great performance and the W.
Thank you so much.
Before you go, give us a shout out to one of your teammates. Doesn't necessarily have to be the high point scorer or the best player. Give us somebody on your team that you want to shout out and the reason why you want to shout out to them.
I want to shout out to Nicole. I think she really took control this game. Like I said, control. And she did a really good job seeing all the players on the ground and driving it in, just being a leader.
We couldn't agree with you more. Haley Westover, our Deemer's Glass Glassman in the game. Need glass for your home or business? Call Deemer's Glass in Lakeside, 1-888-GLASSMAN. Haley, congratulations. The Lobos are moving on. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And while we switch to get our player of the game, we got to talk next about our Horn Auto Center drive of the game. And I'm going to say the second half of the Snowflake Lobos.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. They locked in. After a big loss, they locked in. They got it done.
And we are joined now, so Horn Auto Center drive of the game, the Chevy, Cadillac, and GMC store that saves you more. Horn Auto Center on the Deuce of Clubs. We now go to our Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint player of the game, and we are joined by our player of the game, and that is going to be number 10, the senior, Nicole Hips. Nicole, congratulations on the win.
Thank you, thank you.
You know what, Nicole? I was just telling Aaron earlier, we got to keep a lookout for that school resource officer. He might be brought up on charges for all those steals tonight.
Nicole,
way to go.
Raya went down with the fourth foul. That meant Haley had to step up. But you were in there all game, and Raya had to sit with that fourth foul, and it was just hard to sit back and watch her. But you stepped it up. But one of the things tonight, and why you're our Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint player of the game, is those steals and forcing those turnovers. Monument had some air passes, but you guys were on top of the ball, particularly you. Talk about yourself and that effort in the steals, and then talk about your team.
Yeah, I've always been taught my whole life that defense wins games, and so I think it's been a big thing in my household. I got to play hard defense, and we knew that they were going to come out and play hard. We knew they were going to dish it to 40 because she's an amazing player.
She is an amazing player.
Yeah, for sure. So we just knew that we had to kind of double up on her a little bit and just try to stop those dishes down into her.
And man, quietly with 12 points on the night, but you can't underestimate her presence. Your presence was felt offensively, defensively. So what is up for the Lobos moving forward?
So state championship. I mean, that's what I want, and I think that's what my team wants. We play the winner of Ganado and Valley Christian, I believe, which I'm not sure who won, but I think either way.
And you guys had Valley Christian here in a close game earlier and were able to handle them. Mark, what do you got for Nicole tonight?
I got two things. So first question, I mean, we talked about your defense, and I absolutely agree. Defense wins games, wins championships. But not only were you great on defense, you were great on offense. How did you find yourself in the driver's seat, the ability to lead your team to victory tonight? Because that's what you did tonight.
I had kind of a rough game last week. I had 6 turnovers at halftime, so I just knew I had to show up. It's playoffs. I can't play like that. So I wanted to improve myself. This is my last home game ever as a senior, so I just wanted to go out with a bang and play hard, and I knew that I had to step up to do that.
You very much did that. My last thing for you, I mean, obviously we've talked about it all night, the loss of Rennell West early in the game. That's huge. What was Coach Brogan's message for you guys at halftime? How did you guys receive that message, and how'd you feel coming out at halftime?
He didn't bring it up a whole lot. I think he just didn't want to bring attention to it and make us think about it and get kind of down on it, because she is a very crucial player to our team. So he just at halftime, he told us we had to rebound. Not very often do we get out-rebounded.
And rebound they did.
Yes.
Yeah, we were getting out-rebounded at halftime, so we had to come out and fix that. And then, she's playing defense on number 40 all night, so we had to step up on her, take over Nell's spot on her, and I think we did a good job of that.
Gotta ask, we always do. Shout out to one of your teammates.
I think Taylor Hancock brought some amazing energy tonight.
We were just saying that.
Yeah.
So Taylor had no points until those free throws, but you could not underestimate her play in this game tonight. It was amazing. So Nicole's stat line on the night, 14 points, 6 of 8 from the line, and played everything. And Nicole Hips, congratulations. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to Lobos. Thank you for being our Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint player of the game and joining us this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
As folks, we have Snowflake will move on to play Ganado. And the final tonight, 59-51. As to close out some stat lines here, Man, I believe, had 12. Parrish with 12. Dalton with a very quiet 10, doing a very good job. Denhalter with 16. And Denhalter with that fourth foul, you wonder what could have been, but that's not how the game's played. So, Mark, closing thoughts on moving forward for the Lobos.
I couldn't agree with Nicole more. I mean, 15 steals that I counted for that Lobos
15?
team. 15.
Wow.
With those three players. Defense wins championships. Phenomenal showing from these Lady Lobos, getting it out there, getting it done, and just being big where it counted.
Folks, you've heard it here for Daniel Perkins, Jeff Lonetree, Robin Wong, our camera operators, for Mel West, our producer, for very grateful me, for Mark Saxton joining us this evening. I'm Aaron Hewish. Your final from Snowflake High School, 59-51. The Lobos move on in the state 3A tournament. This has been Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
This has been Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk 1067 KNKI Pinetop and iTalk1067.com. Brought to you in part by Northland Pioneer College, Ace Hardware of the White Mountains, Deemer's Glass, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center, Horn Auto Center, Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports, and Comfort Fit Dentures. This broadcast has been a copyrighted production of iTalk 1067 and Country Mountain Airwaves, a Kopaniki communication station. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of this broadcast without the express written consent of iTalk 1067 or Country Mountain Airwaves is strictly prohibited. For more information on this game and other games around the region, go to iTalk1067.com.